Hello everyone. Today we are going to create an application where we are going to scroll down to a specific fragment inside the application. So first of all, we are going to just create a fresh application before we start. Ionic start. We need to provide a name for the application. We can call it my app and keep it blank. We are going to use Angular. We don't want to use capacitor. This is going to take some time. I already have an account. We'll go inside the application now, my app. Let's open it inside Visual Studio Code. Home folder. So this is the folder from where the application is going to start. So we have even the routing here, and by default it specifies that this is the home page of the application. So now let's start with opening the terminal. So we are going to create an article detail page as a component with Ionic generate page. Let's call it article detail. That's it. It has created an article detail page. Inside this, we can remove this spec file. This is for specifically for testing, so we don't need it. We can even remove this one just to reduce the confusion. So let's change the routing for this and let's call it article/id. Okay, so id is going to be the parameter for this page. Now let's go to the home page and we are going to create a redirect. Let's create a method first. Let's call it go to article detail page, and we are going to inject the router inside this constructor, private router, and it is going to be imported from Angular/router. This dot router dot navigate, and let's provide the URL articles slash. Let's keep it constant for now. And now we're going to pass a JavaScript object where it is going to accept query parameter. And now we are going to provide the query parameters that we want to pass to the detail page of article. Let's just pass a title for this article page, and we can call it Ionic 5. Sounds good. And we will also send a fragment. So fragment is going to specify that where exactly we need to scroll down. If we have 10 comments in the article, then we just need to scroll down to maybe second one or maybe fourth one. Let's call it like the comment ID is 20. That's it. Save it. Let's copy this method and use it in the HTML file. We can remove this default and let's create a button. Okay, and let's call it go to article detail page, and we are going to create a click event and we'll pass this method name inside it. So now when we click on this button, it is going to take us to the article detail page. Now let's go to the article detail page on the TS file. Inside it, we are going to get an ID, title, and fragment, right? Okay, we need to inject our activated route to get those parameters and fragments. It is going to be private route activated route, and we're going to import it from Angular/router ID, and this dot router dot snapshot dot, this is going to be a parameter, so that's parameter params dot id title. Okay, so this dot router dot snapshot dot, so the title is query parameter, query params dot title. Okay, now we're going to get the fragment, this dot router dot snapshot dot fragment. Okay, so let's use them inside our HTML file, and let's use it right here. And inside this article, create a paragraph. Inside it, we are going to call it article description. Comes here, and we are going to create a new component for this, for just to display the comment section. and to do that we need to create a new component. So let's just change the name over here, and instead of page we need to create a component, article comment, right away. That's it. We have this new component from the TS file. So the selector is this one, so we can use it directly over there. But before that, just keep in mind that we need to declare this new component, because it is not declared in any module right now, and each and every component without being declared in any of the module in that application is of no use, because they are just files, and Ionic or Angular does not understand those files unless you specify them inside a module. So we are going to just create a new module file. Let's call it components.module.ts, and inside it let's export class components module. Okay, and now we are going to add it into module, and inside it we are going to pass a JavaScript parameter. We are going to add the declarations, and we are going to declare the new component that we have created, that is article comment component. Okay, and we're going to import common module. Common module, and now we're going to export this same declaration, which is article component. Okay, so that we can use it outside this module. Wrong import. And so now we have created a component that is article comment component, and we are going to use this component inside our article detail page now. So let's go to the HTML page and app.article comment. That's it. Okay, so inside it we are going to pass in like ng4 let item of lists, and we are going to define lists inside our ATS file, and we are going to pass in the fragment as well, and the fragment has to be passed from the detail page. Okay, and once that is done, we are going to go to the TS file, and we are going to describe that list. Okay, and inside it let's call just one. Now I have a list, so it is going to create 8 comments from this list, and once we are into this HTML page, it is going to load this app article comment section. So let's go to this new component that we created, and now we're going to have the inputs. And the first input is we need ID. We're going to pass, and second input has to be the fragment. We need the ID of the fragment, where we need to scroll down to. We also need to pass the ID from the detail page, right? So from this, or we can call it comment ID. Yeah, we'll change it in the article comment component. So it has to be item.id. Okay, now we'll change it in there as well, comment ID. We are going to have the HTML file, and let's just add the comment ID here. Okay, and now we're going to specify the ID, because we need to scroll down to the specific fragment, right? It has to have some specific ID. Article comment underscore comment ID. And let's go back, and inside ng on in it, we are going to describe set timeout 500 milliseconds to wait before it scrolls down to the specific comment. So we are going to get the element, right? So element has to come. Okay, it is throwing some error. This is the mistake. We can use it as the const as well. Document dot query selector. Our id is ac underscore this dot fragment. Okay, so we're going to add a check for element not equal to null, and then element dot scroll into view behavior smooth. And let's try to open this application now. Ionic serve LC. Before opening the browser, we have to import this component module inside our article detail page. So once we import it, we are done with this. Great. So our 90% of the work is done. Let's go back and let's apply some CSS into it. Let's go to this CSS, and we specified this class inside our component article comment, and now we're going to give some margin. The margin can be 10 pixels, and padding should be like 8 pixels. 0. Oops. Let's background color as well. Perfect. Okay. You might have noticed this is not scrolling at the moment. What was the ID that we specified inside our home page? Let's go to the HTTPS file. We specified 20, which is so weird. No, we need to pass 4 because we have only, I think, 8 comments, right? We don't have 20 comments right there. Oops. We need to specify hash as well because this is 90, right? So yes, that's why it is not able to find this element and not able to scroll. You see, we are on the 4th element now. Let's go back and try it again. Click and see. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.